Hi. So, I'm not too sure. I hope that it works. I hope that the recording works. I'm trying to my aim is to record this presentation for a couple of providers that unfortunately missed out on this. So just to give you a what do you call it, overview, we are in the process of the sixth Domke Success Squad, delivering. It's made out of 5 sessions, over the over 5 weeks, for social care providers coaching. So it's sessions for people who are thinking about registering domiciliary care agency with CQC, or they have registered already and they haven't managed to find private clients, or people who have started, are doing it already on a small scale, and they are thinking about improving the quality. So we've got a mixture of providers, and on this course, on this edition, at the moment we've got 4 providers. They are from different parts of the country. So we've got a provider from Devon, who is on a path, already has 6 service users, but she wants to become a outstanding provider. We've got someone who's a GP in Coventry, and he wants to he already registered with CQC, but he's not sure how to start getting private clients. And we've got 2 other providers who have started, and they just don't know how to get going. So we've got a mixture, and this is our 6. So we've trained over 40 care providers over time. And this session, I never record these sessions because I feel like people need to attend, they need to make effort. But you know what, loads of different things happened, and I talk too much as well. So I was delivering the session, and because I was really loving the conversation with one of the providers, I overrun the session. So I'm neurodivergent, and it happens. So I decided to record the last bit for her. So obviously it's my fault that I haven't delivered it, but then at the same time she paid for it. So I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna record it obviously for her so she can use it, because I feel like I haven't delivered on my part. But then at the same time, to post it as well, so maybe other people can make use of it as well. So this is our social value that we are adding today, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind as well. So, but what I have, there's only one topic really that I'm going to be covering, because one topic is left. We had literally 2 hours conversation just, and we still run out of time. So there is one bit that was left out, which I think makes the biggest impact anyway. So I really hope that this is going to be somehow valuable content as well for other people. People who know me know that I hate doing videos, and talking to myself is truly weird. I've got back door open for fresh air as well, so I just hope that, yeah, it's just very, very weird situation. But anyway, it is what it is. I will pretend that I'm talking to someone. I've got the alarm as well, so I will set it up for 30 minutes. It is a very passionate topic for me, so there is a risk it will take longer than needed, and I don't want it. So yeah, I'm setting the alarm for max 30 minutes, so I will make it as fast as I can. Right. Okay. The timer went up. So let's quickly move on to the topic that we were going to be talking about with the other provider. All right. So as you can see, I'm not brilliant at slide sharing. How do you slideshow? Shall we do that? Right. Okay. So when it comes to being a care provider, and at least this is where I left off with the other lady that had to leave. every provider needs to have a vision, right? And we talked a lot about vision today and strategies. So we talked about 2 hours. So if you guys are curious, please book yourself in for the next Donkey Success Squad. I haven't got a date yet, but it would be happening somewhere in June, probably somewhere in June. Because we are in the process, unless there's enough providers to do it now. But yeah, let's wait and see. Anyway, so we talked a lot about the vision, right? So now it's down to the vision for what, and what is the vision, right? So now a lot of providers, where they go wrong is they think that they are just a care provider. Okay, they are just a service provider, and then they have a statement of purpose to explain how they're going to provide support for service users. And every care provider has to have a statement of purpose. Obviously, it's required to register with CQC. Some people put more effort into it or less, so it depends. But more or less every provider knows that they are going to be providing care services in some capacity and quality, and they know what's expected of them to do it safely and to be rated by CQC, hopefully good. So everyone more or less has a vision for that. What providers often forget about is that they are not just a care provider anymore, right? And this literally is a moment where a lot of care providers, after this training, they go like, wow, there's more to it than I thought. Okay, and I love that because it is. So a lot of providers forget that they are also an employer. Okay, so they employ people, so it makes them responsible for those people as well. So they need to have a vision for what it's like to be an employer, or how am I going to be as an employer. It's literally the bit that you can then use for your brand marketing, recruitment, retention, like literally everything, right? So it's a huge topic which needs a vision on its own, and it needs its own strategies, right? What providers often forget that they are also an integrated care system partner. Okay, so we are CQC registered, and we are a partner of the integrated care system. We are as important as NHS, and we are as important as a local authority. We are part of the social care system, right? We are a provider. We are a partner with NHS, and we are partner with local authority, right? They are our stakeholders. They are our GPs. They are our commissioners. They are our social workers. They are our community nurses. So they are our partners. We work together to provide better support for our individual, right? We need to work in a partnership. So we are a partner. And people often forget to have a vision for it. What does it look like? What do I want it to look like? What type of partner do I want to be? And then how am I going to make it happen? Right? So providers very often forget that. Like what's very often forgotten, because community sector is not required to be registered with CQC yet. It's often forgotten partner, right? So I feel like it's my responsibility, because I work in the community sector as well as social care. I feel like it's important to start raising awareness amongst social care providers about the importance of community sector. So that's one of our mission as well, and it's our social value, I suppose, as well. Yeah, this is a very, very forgotten, and I think as a system, as an integrated care system, I think there is disjointment still. Like, obviously, I think everyone knows it. But then everyone knows that there is a disjointment between social NHS, social care, local authority, etc., etc. That we are forgetting that there is a voluntary sector as well, and we are all partners of the solution. Right? Not everyone is being seen like that. Not everyone is being valued as that for different reasons. And it can come down to the fact that maybe not all partners are CQC rated, or maybe not all partners are rated CQC good, or maybe they don't see, people might not seem to understand their value enough, because there are some parts of the system that are underpaid, right? So and it's not because the value is it represents the value, it's just that they are not being valued. So let's just make sure that we understand that. And I think, like, I was saying to the providers the other day, or even earlier, social care sector and community sector, if invested in, can become part of the proper solution for NHS and local authority. It can be a solution, like literal solution, taken into strategies and everything else. However, it would require certain investment. So, for example, just to give you a very, very simple example, social care staff, care workers who currently go to domiciliary care, provide domiciliary care services to people living in their own homes, in the community, in their own homes, and they just need someone to come in the morning, and they just need, like, personal care support and or light touch support. If these care workers were trained, they could take off pressure from NHS, from community nurses who need to go out to community to deliver services. Social care workers can be trained to do it. Like, they are your missing resource. So let's think about that as a solution. At the same time, community sector can bring a lot of early prevention and very early intervention solutions, which are not being utilized at the moment. And like, even social prescribing, not many people know about social prescribing. Even GPs don't use social prescribers as a solution. So there is still a huge gap there, right? But you, as a provider that I'm working with, I want you to understand that you are part of that solution. So this is my aim, for you guys to understand that you are a partner, you are a solution, and you can become a high quality solution because you are CQC rated. Right? So you can become a high solution. So find out what your community needs. Right? Everyone is rushing into this domiciliary care sector, thinking all I need to do is provide care for elderly people. But there is, like, you either need to invest in the quality, you really need to do something of a quality that's not being delivered out there. There are like 200 care providers in my area alone. So you need to do something different. You really need to be outstanding in what you do. Or think, what are the problem my community has that I can be part of? Maybe as maybe you can I don't know, maybe you are a care provider who achieved outstanding, and now you can train other people how to do it, right? So there's loads of way, but I just want you to guys know that you are on my program right now. You are a part of the solution. So you just need to find what the problem is that you can contribute towards, right? And I need you to feel valued, because as a small care provider, as a solo director, you need to make sure that your staff feel valued, because you need to have that as your mission and vision for yourself as an employer. You need to make sure that your staff feel valued, right? And that they are looked after, that they've got health and well-being, which we have talked about for 2 hours. That your staff, so this needs to be written into your vision, your health and well-being of your staff, the pathway that they're gonna go into, and all that stuff, right? So and what was I saying about the see, there you go, there's the neurodiversity. Yeah, as an employer, it needs to be important to you. It needs to be written into your vision. I'm lost. Anyway, never mind. It happens all the time. But yeah, so I need you guys to understand you are part of the solution. a high quality solution. Okay. And you have a power of influence. So you can make a difference. Anyways, and then people forget that they are also a business in the community. Okay, so what that means, as a business, I'm based in Warsaw. In Warsaw, in my neighborhood, I live, and my business is registered in and operates from at the moment in Darlaston. Right, so this is my community. So in my community, for example, there is a huge problem of litter. Okay, so as a business in the community, and then at the same time as a resident of my community, I feel the need to go litter picking. Okay, I do once in a while. I do a big litter pick on my road where I live, but on a weekly basis, I do litter picking in the park where I do community activities promoting health and well-being, because this is important for me. Health and well-being is important for me. Having connections, having a community, having friends, being outdoors is important to me. Having fun as a family is important to me. So that's why I designed a community project, doing it in my community, right? Because that's my social value, right? So business in the community, it's important for me. What else is important for me is, as a Polish woman, wanting to starting a business in Warsaw, as a single mom, as a neurodivergent woman, etc., etc. These topics are important to me, and I create projects that are important to me personally. So, for example, I started a support group for Polish women wanting to start a business, right? Because I want to help them as well, right? I've been on that journey for so long. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but whilst I'm at this point, I'm more relatable to the guys who are just starting up. So that's my social value, right? It's important to me. So as a business in the community, I help other businesses. Okay. So yeah, so every care provider, you are the same, right? You are literally the same. As a care provider, you are interacting with service users. So obviously you need to have a vision for yourself as a service provider. Service user, you need to be able to explain this vision in a way that service users know what to expect from you, right? Why they are choosing you. This is literally becomes your brand, right? Then you need to have a vision for yourself as a employer as well. So that's two, right? And again, you need to have a vision so clear that when you invite a member of staff for a job interview, they are understanding what your vision. They chose to be there. They chose to be at that interview because they want a job with you, because they want to follow your vision. And they know it because the way you wrote your advert, because that advert attracted them to you in the first place. Right? We're going to talk about writing the advert and like the whole recruitment process, etc., on the third section, on the third meeting. But this is what your vision is. So like when a member of staff is coming to work for you, it's because they want to follow your vision. Because, for example, one of the providers on our training wants to become an outstanding provider. But you can't become an outstanding provider if you're not an outstanding employer. You need to become an outstanding employer. So what does that mean to you to become an outstanding employer? Right? What does it look like? How will you know that your staff feels like you are an outstanding employer? Right? Do you know what I mean? So you need to create, again, we talked about processes and strategies and audits. So you need to create a system in place to make sure that, one, you have a vision, right, of yourself as an employer. You have strategies and systems to make sure that that vision happens. But then you need to have a system to make sure that it works, right? That you actually are an outstanding employer, right? That you are fully compliant, obviously, that your staff feel whatever it is that you want them to feel in your vision. So, for example, if you say in your vision that you want your staff to feel like part of the family, for example, one of the providers wants that for the service users. So their vision is that the service users feel like we are part of the family, right? So for them to feel that way, obviously your staff need to treat them in the certain way, right? For your service user to feel like they are part of the family, it's down to your staff to make them feel that way. So what's your vision for your staff to feel the way they need to feel to make their service users feel like they are part of the family? And I know it sounds complicated, but I was giving you an example earlier in our conversation. If you want me as a staff, as a carer, as a support worker, if you want me to support your service user with managing finances, budgeting, planning for holidays, like managing the budget, income, expenditure, planning for shopping, planning for clothes, planning for holidays, etc., etc. If you want me to support your service user with that, whilst I'm 40,000 pounds in debt, we might not get to the same outcome, right? So if you want you choose me to support your service user to get to the certain outcome, first you need to teach me how to do it. I have no idea. I haven't done it. I'm 40,000 pounds in debt, and you want me to be able to help someone plan for holiday whilst I'm not able to save money for holiday for myself. Like I'm not able to do it. So how can you expect me to do it for another person? Right? How many members of staff that we currently have in social care struggle with mental health, burnout, depression? Right? Now, again, you want, or for example, and I don't want to offend anyone, but for example, just okay, so without offending anyone, the other day I was driving with my son. And outside the hospital, I was taking him to his tuition, and outside the hospital there was a nurse crossing the road, and she was smoking a cigarette, and my 11-year-old child was shocked to see a nurse smoking a cigarette. He was shocked, right? And I know it's funny, but it's not funny, because how can we have nurses, how can we have health and social care staff, how can we have people in voluntary sector who are struggling with mental and physical health, people who are obese, giving advice to other people? These are the guys who should be healthy physically and mentally, and really leading by example, showing us how to do it, sharing the information, educating us, raising awareness. But they are not being educated themselves, or they are not being supported themselves, because how can you have a nurse smoking cigarettes? Doesn't make sense. For my autistic brain, it doesn't make sense. For my son's autistic brain, it doesn't make sense. Yet we live in a world that it seems acceptable, that you have an obese nurse or a support worker going to people, vulnerable people, elderly people, people who are lonely, people who are physically disabled, strapped into their beds 24/7, living alone at home, and you've got a carer who is depressed, in debt, obese, going into that person's home and you expect them to feel how? Right? So this is what I'm talking about. You need to have a vision for yourself as an employer. What is it that you want for your staff? And then make, like, how do you make it happen? So for example, if you want your staff to feel valued, or if you want your staff, or if you want to look, for example, if it's important for you to support your staff mental health or finances or whatever it is, how are you going to make it happen? Right? How are you going to make it happen? But then this is where your ICS partnership comes in. This is where your voluntary sector can come in, because there is loads of support groups for people to quit smoking. There's loads of walking groups. There's loads of mental health support, community groups, craft groups, interest groups, etc., etc. So there's loads out there that's free available. Financial support is available for free in the community sector, that if you as a care provider are aware of, you can create partnership and support networks for your staff. But then at the same time, you are already aware what you can do for your service users. Maybe you can just raise awareness alongside your service users so that they can go and take advantage of those, or maybe their family members. So you're literally just passing the information, but without creating connection and partnership within the integrated care system, you will not be aware of what's out there. And there is loads. I know, because I work in voluntary sector, and I'm still upset that social care providers don't know about that, what's out there available. That you can get free laptops for your service users or even your staff from the integrated care board. You can get a free laptop, free mobile phone, free internet. Honestly, there is just so much available within the community that social care would be so much better off knowing about, both for your staff recruitment and retention purposes, but also your service users, because you can be creative. So that's all your social value, really. So as a care provider, as a organization, whatever it is your name, I've put missing link because that's the name of my company that I'm starting up in social care as well. And this is what I want you guys to understand. You are so much more than just care provider, and this is an outcome. One of the lady that literally I'm recording this video for, this is what she said her vision is. I don't want to be just delivering care, right? She wants to build relationships with her service users. She wants to be person-centered. She wants to make people feel like they are in control. And she wants her people to feel like they are part of the family, where they want to go on holiday with their staff. That they want to take their staff for holiday with them because they feel like they want to be part of the journey. That's literally her words. Right? So you need to realize that you are not just a care provider. There is so much more. And luckily, that lady that's on this video is for, she's got literally, she moved down to Devon, and she's got the best environment to create that, because she was saying earlier that that the community matters. There's so much happening in community down there, and that's what I heard about Cornwall as well. So down south seems like the mindset is different. We need to bring it into towns as well. So if you haven't got the environment for it, you be that trigger to change it, be that trigger to create it. You can create partnership, even with other care providers. People usually see themselves as a competition. It's the same with community sector. It's all about, obviously, money and agreement. Like, we are all competing against the same budget and for the same service user. So it's everywhere. But then at some point, you just need to ask yourself, what is it that I'm here for? Is it really about the service user, or is it about the money? Because if you are here for the money, then carry on competing. But if you are here genuinely for the service user, and you genuinely want to give them the outcomes or support them to achieve the outcomes that they want and need, then you really need to think about how you're going to make it happen. And are you the only person that can make it happen? Do you need help? Right? Or do you need to, other resources? Do you need to work with other people? Can you make it happen without the social worker? Can you make it happen without the community nurse? Can you make it happen without the community, I don't know, day center, school, whatever? Think about it. So the homework literally is for the next meeting is to create a vision for all those four, right? So let me just quickly check what's next on the slide. One sec. I've done it wrong. Give me 1 second. We've got 3 minutes on the alarm clock, so let's do it quickly. Right. So this is these are some answers from the other providers, right? So this is literally the homework. Okay. Start writing your vision statement. The what is it that you want to do, right? So so you, like, I create tables because it's easier for me to see that way. You can create it in any other way, whatever it's easy for you, right? So but create yourself like a document where what is my vision as a provider, as a business in the community, as a employer, and as an integrated care system partner, right? For those four. So for now, just start with bullet points. Just start. So whatever, like, say, for example, when you spoke to me earlier about the things that you want or don't want for your business, start writing what is it that you want for your business. What is it that you want? Always think about what is it that you want. So for example, like you said that you don't want to be just delivering care. So what is it that you want? If you don't want to just deliver, what is it that you want? And write it in your vision. What is it that you want as a provider for your service users? How do you want your service user to feel? If you were a service user, what would you expect? I know I'm going to be a service user in because of my health conditions. So I know I'm going to be a service user sooner or later, right? So now it's easy for me to imagine. Now you imagine what you would want for you, for yourself, and just put it down there. And then as an employer, you once were an employee, right? What would you want? And what is it that you want your staff to experience when they come to work for you? What is it that you want them to experience? Imagine their pathway from the moment that they see your advert. How are they going to see your advert? What that advert is going to do to them? Is it going to make them say, wow, I want to work for that employer? How is that advert? What is the recruitment process going to be like? Right? So now providers often forget, and not just care. So this is everywhere. Employers often forget that whilst I come to you for a job interview, you may be interviewing me, but I want to also interview you. And it's not about me asking you questions. How you make me feel during that interview is going to help me make a decision whether I want to work for you or not. I don't need to ask you any questions. How I'm welcomed at the reception, how your staff book me for an interview, right? How we interact during the thingy, how you communicate with me before the interview, how you write your advert, how your website looks like. There is a lot that can tell me, right? And then the last chance is that interview question. So how you ask me questions, how you give me an opportunity to express myself, etc., etc. It will help me make a decision whether I want to work for you, right? Especially in health and social care. I did some research a couple of years ago, and service staff say that if the recruitment process takes too long, they are 100% looking for another job at the same time. So your recruitment process can influence whether that person will ever start working with you or not. Oh, 30 minutes is up. So let's see. I'm going to put 5 more minutes. Right? So your vision as an employer. So this needs to be literally for the whole process. How do you want your staff to feel in the entire cycle, from the moment they hear about you, what they want to hear about you, and etc., etc.? So the whole up to the way, if they want to leave, how is that exit working as well. Because from how they exit your company, your review on Indeed or whatever might depend. You know what I mean? So you need to have that whole vision. How is that process? And then create a strategy for how it's going to make it happen. So it's a lot of creating, a lot of processes creating. So like, how do you write an advert, right? So again, it's your vision as an employer is going to becoming your brand, which you can then market for attracting the right staff. Because you have certain expectations from your staff. You want your service to be outstanding. And again, I'm talking to the lady that was on the call before. You want your service to be outstanding. So you expect your staff to be delivering outstanding service. Your staff will be delivering. So you're not gonna be delivering the processes, the happening. Someone else will. You create a system. You inspire people to do it. You motivate people to do it, right? You value them for doing it, etc., etc. So you do something to make them feel certain way, so that they can go out, do your outstanding vision, because they are the ones delivering that service. Okay. And then the same goes for ICS partners. So if you want to be a care provider valued certain way in the care system, so what does it look like, right? What does it look like to be for you as a, so am I going to be the change maker? I want to be seen. How do you want them to see you? How do you want them to know you? So, for example, in other groups, providers might have said that they want to be seen as transparent, or they want to be seen as that they are able to rely on them, or maybe they want trustworthy or dependable or whatever, right? So what is it that you want to see yourself as an integrated care partner? You are a partner within the system, NHS, local authority, social care, and community, right? So that's your integrated care. How you want to be seen in that partnership? What do you bring into that partnership, right? So this needs to come from you again, and we spoke about it earlier. Even things about like your mental and physical health, and community projects that you can do and things like that. So this can become your social value. So you can have two birds, one stone, basically. But yeah, again, so you need to have a vision, and then you think about the strategies, how it's going to happen. And then as a business community, so like I spoke to you about earlier, about what is the community where you are, what do they need, right? Do they need litter picking? Do they need employment? Do they need coffee mornings? Maybe do they need a center, or maybe they need some activities, maybe they need art activities and things like that. So you need to decide, or you need to find out what your community needs, that maybe you can contribute towards. Or maybe even simple as that as your social value, you're going to invest in your staff to volunteer, maybe. Or maybe you're going to teach them new skills. Maybe you're going to teach them counseling skills, so that they can provide counseling services to the service users, or other staff. That can be just that. Maybe you will train one member of staff to I don't know, do like we were talking about Love to Move, and then you deliver Love to Move activities to your service users. Or could start a community project like that, delivering Love to Move for all the people. Or maybe something else, right? So it can be something else. But yeah, so you need to decide what that vision is, write it down, and start writing with bullet points. Read other care providers outstanding rating, inspection reports, to get ideas what other people do, what their vision looks like. And if you haven't got your own, then just draw ideas from other providers. But this is the starting point, right? So again, I need to go. So everything that we do from this week forward is always going to come back to this. Every single topic that we're going to be going forward with is going to be always coming back to your vision, right? This is literally the core of your company, right? everything, every strategy that you create from this point onwards, and auditing procedure, quality assurance, compliance assurance, etc., everything will come back to this, right? So, and this is your brand. This literally, everything that you create from this point onwards is going to be your brand, right? This is what you can become known for, in a good or bad way. Let's hope that you choose to be known for in good ways, right? This is your recruitment strategy. This is your private client strategy. This is your spot contract strategy, right? This is your retaining your current tenders strategy. This is your quality rating for CQC strategy. Literally everything within those 4 tables is your strategy for everything that you do forward with your company. So yeah, so it's very important homework. And yeah, the next time we're meeting is on the 31st of May. Okay, so you will join then the other providers that started the week before, and then we're gonna start talking about next steps, obviously. But for you especially, because your goal is the quality bit, so it's really about what is it that you want, and then creating a system to make sure that you are compliant according to your vision, but then at the same time checking the quality of this everything. So you really need to you will have a lot of work right now, quickly, a lot of work, right? Because like I was saying to you, you are due an inspection probably within the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, so by the time that inspection comes, you already want to have evidence to show. So you don't want to be at the position that, well, this is what the system, even if it's few months, 2-3 months, because you can say that, well, we identified the gaps, and then this is the systems that we're thinking, and then the last 3 months, hopefully you want more than 6 months, 3 months. Obviously, you want at least 6 months of evidence, okay, or even from the beginning, evidence from the beginning. That is even better. So if you, obviously you are a few months in already, so if you don't have the evidence, start gathering every evidence you can think of straight away, and then start looking at the strategies at the compliance side. First of all, make sure that you are compliant, and then auditing, and then making sure they're improving the quality bit now, because you are aiming for outstanding quality. So everything comes now about improving the quality, finding out how that process works. Are we compliant at this point? Are we compliant? If we are not compliant, then obviously you need an action plan to fix it straight away. That's your priority. If you are compliant, but it's then you need to find out, is it the good quality or is it outstanding quality? If it's not an outstanding quality, again, you create an action plan for how you're going to fix it, what needs to be fixed, how you're going to fix it, and how you will know that you fixed it. All right, then, and literally, this is your continuous development, continuous learning, of your continuous improvement. This is what you need for CQC. Again, you need to have evidence. So all the lessons, everything that you do, all the processes that you review, implement, etc., action plans, following on actions and completing the actions, everything, this is your evidence. So it literally is a project, and you need to have a project plan. You need to have a strategy for that project, how much time you're going to implement, invest into it, and by when you want it to be completed, right? Because again, you want few months of evidence. So you really need to audit what you've got, get compliance, and then quality, right? So I hope that this was useful. And yeah, and you will be able to watch it later. And yeah, and I will see you in 2 weeks time for the next session. So see you.